Hello YouTube fans, here we are again. We got a little Christmas special. Wanted to show you a little bit of the festivities there on the kitchen table. I had to wait to get to my oven because I just cooked another turkey using my famous technique. I haven't even unwrapped it yet, but I thought I'd strike while the iron was hot, so to speak. Alright, and today we're going to try something a little new. And here I am in all my festivities, jingling one of Santa's little elves. And as you can see, what we have here is a big pan with one stick of butter. And I have a nice bag of walnuts. And since I'm not only diabetic, but I have celiac, I also wanted something a little sweet for me. So when I got these shelled walnuts, I had to read the allergen statement. And it says, processed in a facility that packages other tree nuts. So if you're allergic to peanuts specifically, or other nuts, this isn't for you. But it says processed in a gluten-free and peanut-free facility. So I thought, yep, that's got my name all over it. But one of the disappointing things was I picked up some pecans, and on the allergy information there, it says produced on a shared equipment that also processes peanuts, tree nuts, soy, milk, eggs, and wheat. So we had a nap. I'm not taking the chance on the pecans. I'll have to give these to my significant other because she loves pecans. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to combine pecans and walnuts and make some candied nuts so that I actually could have a bite here and there of something sweet over the holiday season. So I'm just going to have to settle with the walnuts. Now another new event here as far as my cooking goes was I found some erythritol called Swerve. And I was very surprised about this. This is the confectioner's. And what it says is it's a delicious carb-conscious natural sweetener that measures cup for cup, just like sugar. But as I looked across the label here, it says, measures like sugar, tastes like sugar, and then the third item said gluten-free. Now, I've never used the Swerve as a confectioner sugar because I don't eat sugars. And I also noticed here on the zero net carbs, the ingredients in Swerve do not affect blood sugar, so the carbohydrates it contains are considered non-impact. I thought, well, that sounds great. It measures like sugar, but you got to store it in a cool, dry place or refrigerate after opening. So I took my 1/3 of a cup out, and I'm going to pop them back into the refrigerator. So unfortunately, I couldn't do the pecans, which is really what I wanted to do. But what I'm going to do real fast here is I'm going to heat this butter up. We're going to heat them pretty quickly too. And we're going to melt him out real fast. See, it's very, very disheartening with the celiac and the diabetes. The diabetics, you know, if you're celiac and you're diabetic, you have a lot of research to do as far as what you can eat, what you can't eat. So there's a lot of label reading that goes into that. So I'm going to melt my butter real quick here. I've got a tray that I've already done up. I'm going to take my walnuts here, which are shelled, and I'm going to put some of those, probably about a cup or so. I'll do about half the bag because I put these in my salads. These are very good to put in your salads. You know, a Waldorf salad. And I'm going to spread these out on the tray while my butter is melting here. I've got some coconut spray, and this is the only coconut spray that I could find out there that actually says gluten-free. And I am very, very careful about the gluten. So we're going to give them a real quick spray here with the coconut oil, just like that. And I'm also going to turn my fire down because I want my butter just to stay hot. Now I'm going to salt these because it'll stick now. I want them a little bit on the salty because I'm going to make a salty sweet on the walnuts. I just took my turkey out, and the temp on the oven I know is good, so we're at 325. So what I'm going to do while they're in there is I'm going to take my erythritol, my swerve, and I'm going to put it in the butter here. Alright, we got him in there. Now this is confectioner, so this should melt down pretty fast. Just want to stir that, and I'm using a wooden spoon because this is a Teflon coated pan. I'll shake my little elf hat. I'm being one of Santa's elves here today. So we're gonna stir this until we get this dissolved. We want to sweeten it up. So we're going to let that melt down in there, kind of dissolve. It seems like just a little bit, just a third of a cup. Maybe I should have used more. We're going to let our walnuts, which I wanted to be a walnut and a pecan mixture, but I'm afraid to risk it. It's just, you know, I react so violently to the gluten that, you know, I just can't fool with it. It's one of the things that'll put me in the hospital. And I don't need that over the holidays here, 10 days before Christmas. And if anybody saw my making up at the bags, the home and hearth bags, those have already been delivered. I made sure that I took down a nice big box of chocolate covered cherries to the local post office. And Brenda, if you're watching out there, I kind of was wishing I'd run into you over the holidays here. I thought I'd preserve the tradition of taking down some sweets for our local Valencia post office right here in Middlesex Township, Valencia, PA, at Zone 6A, for us that grow. And I hope everybody's getting ready to grow here pretty soon. We've only got a little bit of time here before we start at it again. And I like to be in the kitchen and make things. I'm very particular about what I eat. And I've been cooking for a long, long time. There probably hasn't been anything that's gone between my lips as far as food goes that I haven't cooked myself in the last 30 years. Alright, so we have those melted. And I think that that's dissolved pretty good. That's a third of a cup of confectioner's sugar, and that is a whole stick of butter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my walnuts. You want to give a feel for them. Yeah, they're nice and dry. And I'm going to take those and I'm just going to pop them right into that buttery swerve mixture. And I've turned my heat up, and we're going to stir these in here. We want to coat them. That's why I used a nice wide pan. I really wish I could have used those pecans. This would have been a terrific recipe for the pecans. And so I want to just coat these real nice. That was probably about the perfect ratio, I think, as far as the swerve in the butter. Just want to get them collected in here before I transfer them back to the tray. And we roasted them probably 5 minutes, maybe 6, in the oven on 325. Now, we don't want to cook these here. We just want to coat them. So I'm going to let them just sit in there a minute and suck up everything. I'm going to turn my fire off now that I have a little bit of a boiling there. It's almost like making toffee. All right, we're going to turn him off. And what I'm going to do is just let that cool down a little bit. And I'm going to let all the liquid, I'm going to stick him right there. I think that shot will be okay. So we've got all that butter goodness, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of salt. And I'm going to tilt the pan backwards and take these and just drop them right onto the tray. And that will keep the butter in the background there, so these won't be quite so wet. Because I don't want the butter to go on the tray, because I'm going to pop these back into the oven after I spread them out here. So that's what they look like. Looks like they got a nice glaze on them. Yeah, they still feel nice and nutty too, so that's a good thing. We made this pretty quick. And now what I'm going to do is a little trick I thought of. And I'm going to take 1 pack of the stevia, and let me see if I can find my cinnamon. Where is my cinnamon? Well, the ginger would work because that would give you some sweetness, but I really wanted just a touch of cinnamon, and I don't see it, unfortunately. Okay, well, I didn't see it, so we're just going to do this. I think a little bit of cinnamon and 1 packet of the stevia would work real well for this. This is starting to cool down now, and it's coated, so I think we can just sprinkle 1 pack of stevia on there. Just like that. Excellent. And we're going to take a little bit of salt. Not too much, but a little bit. So we get that nice sweet and salty flavor there. I'm going to hold that up. These look fab. Tray's a little bit warm, but that's okay. I'm going to let these cool down, and I'm going to put them in a little container. And these are going to be my snack walnuts. I might even throw them just like this into my salads, because I eat salad every night. I have a dinner plate salad about 99% of the time. So there's another video here on something sweet for those of us who are diabetic and have a celiac issue. This is a great little recipe. In fact, I'm going to eat one of these right now. I have to. Let's just see how we taste. Fabulous. You can hear the crunch. Got that nice walnutty taste. You have a pinch of sugar and a pinch of the saltiness. I really wish I could have just got a little bit of cinnamon on there. Just to taste, like just take a little bit and mix it with the stevia before you sprinkle it on there. I think that would be a nice touch. All right, so here we go. One of Santa's elves here. Shake my hat again. I had to put it on. Everybody out there in YouTube land, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Grateful for the support. Remember, you are what you eat. Fresh is always best. Grow as a person, plant a garden, and we can save this planet 1 yard at a time, beginning with your own, and that's without a carbon tax. All right, America, be safe out there. And have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Bye now.